Hey everyone, have you ever been scrolling through YouTube and just like instantly, bam, you're sucked into a video?
Happens to the best of us, right?
Totally. So today we are going deep, deep, deep into those crucial opening seconds, those YouTube hooks that can either make or break a video.
They're so important.
Yeah. We actually got these super interesting notes here from this text. It's in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's called El Hook Perfecto para enganchar a tu audiencia.
So the perfect hook to hook your audience.
Exactly. And it's all about, the psychology and techniques behind those like attention-grabbing intros.
And, I think it's fascinating because these principles apply way beyond just YouTube, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
We are living in this attention economy, and knowing how to communicate value and communicate it quickly, it's a superpower.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the text actually dives right into like a key strategy. And it's starting with the audience's problem. So setting up that feeling right away of, oh, I need this.
Yeah, like tapping into that need. It's clever because it really plays on such a fundamental part of how our brains work, Think about it. You are way more likely to click on a video that's 5 mistakes you're making with your coffee than just how to brew coffee. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's just something about that inherent tension that needs resolving.
It makes you curious.
It does.
So the text gives this really interesting example using a narrative video. So picture this.
Yeah.
The hook throws you right into the action.
Mm-hmm.
Two characters are in this tricky situation and you're instantly hooked because you're like, wait, what happens next?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like that innate desire for resolution that we all have as humans. We're always looking for that end to the story or that solution to a problem. And this actually doesn't just apply to problem-solving content.
Right.
Even with entertainment or even just educational content, that problem could be as simple as sparking someone's curiosity,
Oh, like those top 10 videos that everybody seems to love?
Exactly. They'll start with some sort of captivating or surprising fact, and then bam, they reveal the video's theme, and that keeps you glued, It's that quick payoff.
That's so smart. Okay, but here's where I think the text gets super interesting. It dives into the importance of establishing expertise.
Uh-huh.
But there's a twist,
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about being the ultimate guru.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's more about positioning yourself as someone who has been there or someone with relevant experience or knowledge to share.
Right. You've probably experienced this yourself. Have you ever watched a video or followed someone online where you're just drawn in by their passion?
Yes.
Even if they're not necessarily the leading expert.
Oh, 100%.
It's about connecting with someone on their journey.
Like a shared experience almost.
Exactly. It's hey, I'm figuring this out too. Come along with me, Do you remember that Mr. Beast video? The one where he openly shared his channel's view count?
Oh, I think I do.
And he just invited people to watch it grow with him. It was genius.
Such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't claiming to be the YouTube mastermind back then, but it created this a sense of transparency,
Yeah.
And like you said, connection.
Totally. It's about building trust, And speaking of building trust, you know what else really builds trust?
What's that?
Being vulnerable.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The text really highlights the power of personal stories, admitting mistakes and showing that you're human. It's so powerful because it goes beyond just presenting those cold, hard facts,
Totally. It's connecting on an emotional level. I know as a listener, I always connect more with content that makes me, feel something, whether it makes me laugh, think, or even just, get a little teary-eyed.
Absolutely. And, think about it this way. You are way more likely to remember a story that gave you chills or made you laugh than just a really dry presentation of facts, right?
It sticks with you.
It does. It really sticks with you, those emotional stories. But it's interesting, right? Because the text actually, it cautions against seeming too perfect.
Oh, that's interesting.
It might sound kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a video or followed someone online who just seemed so polished, so perfect that it was almost off-putting?
Yeah, a little too, I don't know.
It's like they're putting on a show.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just being genuine.
It's not relatable.
Exactly. And it's the same principle with YouTube hooks, and just online content in general. Audiences can totally sense when someone's being inauthentic or putting on a facade.
Yeah.
And it creates this barrier to connection.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess it's not about pretending to have all the answers or presenting this like flawless image.
No, not at all. In fact, the text, it encourages creators to show vulnerability, which again might sound counterintuitive.
Yes, it does a little bit.
But think about admitting mistakes, sharing your frustrations, and even just showcasing experiments that didn't quite go as planned.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes people a lot more relatable,
It does. It makes you human.
Like you're a real person.
Exactly. Just like your audience.
Yeah.
And that you're on this journey of learning and growth alongside them.
Right.
And that can be super inspiring for viewers, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
It encourages them to embrace their own imperfections and be more open to trying new things, even if it means they don't always succeed,
Right.
It's like saying, hey, I don't have all the answers.
But let's figure it out together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's super magnetic. So thinking about all these takeaways from the text, it seems like, creating those really compelling YouTube hooks, it's about so much more than just fancy editing or clickbait titles.
Yeah.
It's really about human psychology, using storytelling, and just fostering a genuine connection.
It's true. And honestly, I think these principles can apply to all forms of communication.
Oh, totally.
Not just, YouTube videos.
Right.
It's like that saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that care really shines through when creators are willing to be vulnerable and connect on that human level.
For sure. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being real, relatable, inviting your audience to, come along for the ride.
It's amazing, right? Like, we've uncovered so much about what makes a YouTube hook work.
Yeah. It's way more than just grabbing attention. There's so much psychology involved.
Totally. And there's actually this one point in the text that really stood out to me. It says that sometimes the best YouTube hooks aren't even about solving problems.
Wait, really?
Really?
That's interesting. I always thought presenting a problem and then offering a solution, that was the key, you know?
It seems like it would be, right? But the text makes this really interesting argument for, shifting the focus away from problem solving sometimes.
Huh. So instead of trying to fix something or give a clear answer, it's more about creating an experience for the viewer.
Exactly, like tapping into their curiosity, maybe sparking their imagination, or even just inviting them to share in a moment of joy or wonder.
Okay, I think I see what you mean. It's those ASMR videos that are so popular, they're not really trying to solve a problem, but they create this whole sensory experience.
That's a perfect example. Or think about those travel vlogs that just show you beautiful places without necessarily giving you, all the practical travel tips.
Yeah, they just make you want to go there.
Exactly. It's about evoking a feeling.
Right. It's more emotional than just informational.
It's like the difference between reading a travel guide and actually experiencing the place,
One gives you the facts and the other makes you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think storytelling really comes into play. The text talks about, crafting a narrative, even in those first few seconds.
So it's not just about stating a problem or fact. It's about telling a little story.
A mini story that makes people want to keep watching.
Right. Like those movie trailers that end on a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah, they get you hooked. Or even think about those day in the life vlogs.
Yeah, those are good.
They don't necessarily have a problem they're trying to solve, but they pull you in with just their realness.
Totally. They make you feel like you're getting to know the person.
Exactly. It's about connection.
So I guess there's no one right way to make a YouTube hook then.
Yeah, I think that's what the text is getting at. It really depends on your content, your audience, and the kind of experience you want to create.
It's all about being creative and finding what works.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am feeling super inspired after this deep dive into the world of YouTube hooks.
Me too. It's amazing how much we can learn from something so seemingly simple.
I know, right? It's not just about YouTube either. It's about communication in general.
Totally.
We've learned about human psychology, the power of storytelling, and just the importance of making a real connection.
It all comes down to being genuine, right?
Exactly. And with that, we want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey.
Keep learning, keep connecting, and keep creating.